Okay, my friend, we are live. Hello, everyone.
So it's the start of a new week. Could it be a new era for the comment king, or will the current comment king reign supreme? Or because it's a bank holiday Monday in the UK, nobody gives up and no one's going to comment. What do you reckon it's going to be, Mr. Demi?
I've just got a feeling Slavomir might win.
You reckon? Well, let's play a song and then see what happens.
Just a feeling, I mean, just market experience. You know, you always ask me about intuition.
Let's see what happens. So we'll use this moment to say, if you're new to the group, welcome. This is the Crypto and FX Traders Club, and we've got a live show today. It's Pips Like a Pro, all things FX. So if you are new to the group, like Facebook user, hey, they were trying to win it. They were trying to win the first comment of the show of the week, but you've got to register with the StreamYard link, please, so that we can see your face and your name, and then that counts. Even if you win, but you don't have your name registered, it will be null and void, just to set that straight. Back to the music. Them rules are rules.
Rules are rules, man. Yeah, my water's not with me. It's actually really hot today.
What's that?
Let's enjoy the music and we'll talk in a minute.
Who's going to win?
I imagine that after a few vodka, this song must be amazing.
If we ever did a staff night out when I come back to the UK and this song comes on, wherever the staff night is,
crazy, mate.
London, Sydney, Australia, Las Vegas, wherever it is, Dubai, can you imagine?
We'll be like little kids going crazy.
I'll be the only sober one, just laughing at you lot going crazy. Last 10 seconds.
Come on, people. We need to get people on here so we can see them dancing.
What was that, mate? Now you can talk.
Now I can talk. Oh, yeah. Great.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's actually really nice weather in London for a change.
I heard. I was speaking to my family over the weekend and they said, you guys have been promised about 10 days of sunshine in a row.
Yeah.
You could be a little bit more enthused about that, boo-boo.
Well, I don't really believe that's going to happen, but let's see. It's nice. It does perk you up when it's nice sunshine.
I feel your pessimism, my friend. I feel your pessimism. So look, thank you very much for registering, Claire. Beautiful photo, beautiful name, good afternoon, and some beautiful sunshine. So thank you for that. Roy's in the house as well. Roy, thank you very much for your comment. Lorian, no need to apologize, mate. You have righted your wrong, and we can see your cool photo. Yeah, I know that was from when he was snowboarding as well, which is very cool. And Andrew's in the house. Bank holiday or no bank holiday, thank you very much for joining us. But it's down to business. So this man is getting very close. He's been second. I was going to say he's been close to winning, but he's been second a couple of times. But we know who
the winner is.
We know. That's it.
I think Slavomir should update his picture to have like a picture like Con's, but with just a slightly bigger fish.
We should actually make a trophy, and then he can be with the trophy.
Well, yes, that's true. I'm still waiting for his guide that he's making and how to win this challenge.
Do you know what it is? I think it's because you're so tight and you won't put your hands in your pocket for a trophy. Even just like a small trophy.
You're paying for the trophy anyway, so it's your idea.
Yeah, but by the time I ship it and send it over from Australia, there might be a new champion. So therefore, by default, it should come from you in the UK.
That sounds like a very cheapskate thing to say, mate.
More cheapskate than not actually buying one.
No, but it was your idea. You can't. If you come up with an idea, you have to put your hand in your pocket.
Okay, let's do this. Wherever the winner is based, we shall send the trophy from. So, Slavomir, tell us which country you're currently based in, and we will let that be the judge of it.
No, don't give me that rubbish. When you know inside information.
Mate, do you know what that is? That's checkmate, mate. That is checkmate.
I'd love it if Slavomir actually said, actually, I'm based in Sydney, mate.
That would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. Boom! This guy. Come on, mate. Come on.
Are we doing a show? People have tuned in to learn about FX, not.
They have, and also the art of negotiation. So hopefully you've learned a little bit there about verbal chess. Absolutely. And how to move, how to put the queen in her place. Thank you, Slavomir, for being. Oh, someone's on the Gold Coast. That's awesome. I live on the Gold Coast, so you could hand deliver it to me.
Perfect, mate. You see?
Well, okay. Facebook user, here's the deal. I will do that. I will film it. Okay. But you have to register on the StreamYard link so that we can see your name and your face. And you have to beat the current king, Slavomir. If you can do all of that, I will happily deliver the trophy to you on video. You have my word. What's the date today? The 31st of May. Mystery person, I will happily do that. Deal. We've just got to wait for Andy to ship the trophy over from the UK. Okay, cool. So
you found a neighbour on the Gold Coast here. That's good.
I have. I love it. How long have you? Well, we can talk separately, but the Gold Coast is an amazing place. I've only been here for a couple of years, but I love it, and I'm kind of already adopted by a few people on the Gold Coast, which is awesome. So today we're going to be talking about all things FX, like we said. Hopefully you're having a great start to the week. Obviously it's bank holiday in the UK. So thank you, Andy, for joining us live, because it would be pretty boring and a very short show if it was just me talking to people, let's face it. However, today we're going to talk about something that we've kind of jumped around the sides of and we haven't really dived in, and that's the psychology of trading. And there's so much involved with the psychology of trading that we thought today might as well be the day. Let's go ahead and just jump in for some of the top psychological mistakes that people either are making, or if you're more experienced that you have made, or if you're brand new that no doubt you probably will experience one of these. So if there's a psychological mistake that you think that you've been making and you're having trouble getting out of, put it in the comment section below. A, because it helps us with our Facebook juice, and Facebook gives us more love by us doing these lives and getting more comments. And also we can pick this man's brain. Professional trader of almost 18 years now, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, mate, 18 years I've been doing this. But yeah, it's one of those things where you think, wow, 18 years is a long time. But when you do something you love, it's not really work. It's just living, right? So yeah, and I think that's a big part of the getting to this stage of being consistent. A big part of that is that persistence as well, overcoming those psychological barriers. So I think it would be great for the audience, like you said, whilst I talk about this subject, if they can also share, like you said, what it is for them that they feel, in one or two words, they're struggling with psychologically. What is it, that, because I think this is an area that I'm pretty good at, know a lot about. And Gavin is stripping whilst I'm talking. That's fine. Sure, the ladies will be happy about that.
Mate, not the Australian ladies. There's
some men as well. So
let's not discriminate.
I know.
Let's not discriminate.
I've got to be careful what I say on this show, because otherwise I might upset people.
Mate, you should get some of the Aussie guys to cut if you want some male strippers, mate. The Aussie guys are absolute beasts. humongous. And
Yeah,
they have great personalities as well.
That's a
Really
great
good
idea. Yeah. I was really thinking about that. That's exactly what I want on my bank holiday Monday.
Well, it's your birthday soon. I can arrange something for you on video if you want.
Yeah, sounds great.
Anyway, sorry,
yes.
my taking my top off made you lose your train of thought. You were talking about psychological mistakes.
No, I think it's. See, this is the thing. I think firstly, we have to define it, and that's why I'm asking people. Maybe they're thinking, not really sure what the answer is. And actually, if you're not sure, type in "not sure" because that's also good for us to know. And I'll be happy to kind of. So I will kind of give you some tips on this subject that will hopefully make you think, and then we'll come back and have a look and see what people are typing out as some of the things that they feel they're struggling with that probably relate to psychology. So even if you're not sure, they probably relate to psychology.
Shall I start us off?
Yeah.
I start us off with one of the most common ones that I hear about?
Yeah. What's yours? Well, tell us the most common one.
Okay. The one that I hear the most of, which I don't really get involved in this, mine would probably be FOMO, if anything, but the one I hear a lot of is revenge trading.
Yeah.
What's your take on that one? So firstly, what it is and how, maybe if you've ever experienced it and how you've helped coach people and, whether it was in the hedge fund days or whether it was with retail traders. And also as well, another great point, actually, have you noticed any difference in the psychological issues between the professionals in the hedge fund and institution world on the trading floors compared to the retail traders that you work with? Is there any difference there, first and foremost?
Yeah, there is. So revenge trading, that's a big one. That's a really good one, actually. One of the most dangerous things, because I guess this is the thing that I'd encourage people to do. That if you're going to solve a problem, you have to go to the root of that problem. So what is it firstly, what is revenge trading and what causes it? What steps in you cause that to happen? And if you can figure out the steps that cause that to happen, then you can come up with a solution and a plan to deal with it. But before I kind of even get into this, just so that I don't kind of forget this, I think what's interesting about this subject is that intellectually, most people that have been in the markets a little while understand that psychology is an important part of it. Now, when you're a beginner and you're on Facebook or on YouTube and you're having these adverts pop up, they're not talking about psychology. They're talking about strategy, indicators, magical systems that you're going to basically be able to earn second income and 100K a year and all that kind of stuff. Nobody's mentioning psychology. Why? Because it's not glamorous, and that's not what people want. People don't want to go through challenges. But actually, you should embrace challenge and understand that if you're going to become an elite trader, if you're going to become an elite person in the world in terms of wealth building, you will have to overcome challenges, and that is psychology. Those are the challenges. Mostly it's to do with the reaction to something happening to you. Like, for example, you might be driving, you might be a really, really safe driver. Somebody just does something stupid, hits your car, and now your car is damaged. And the number one thing you want to do there is you want to get angry, you want to get annoyed, you want to scream and shout, what most people do. But it's not going to change what's happened. It's happened now, right? And it's the same thing when it comes to trading. And this is where revenge trading comes in. So it could be, you did something stupid. Like, could be you're responsible for it, or something happened in the market that was out of your control and it created a loss. So whatever the case might be, an event happened, and it's just an event, and now it's happened, and it may have resulted in a financial loss. So when that happens, you've got to ask yourself, okay, well, how would I like to react to such an event? What is the optimal way of reacting to that? How can I actually grow from it so that you can put a positive spin on it before it happens? So in other words, mentally preparing for it and really thinking about it. Like, you know, if you have risk on your account and you have, you know, generally speaking, you should have a limited amount of risk per trade and per week, per month, whatever, all the things that we say. If you stick to that and you've hit your drawdown, for example, like that's in your plan, right? You already planned for that. So how do you react? Now, if anybody's done revenge trading, what I'd like you to tell me is what's the immediate emotional feeling when you want a revenge trade? Like what goes through your mind? What's created that? Like, let me know, guys, if anybody experiences that, because most traders have. Like, you've lost money and you want to make it back. So then your focus now goes to, I want to make my money back. And you're not looking at the market. You're just focused on money, right? So now you're gambling. Whereas if you can put your mind back and say, well, of course I want to make my money back, but if I go and gamble, I'm going to lose it all. I'm going to lose every single penny that I've got in my account. So you have to do what doesn't feel natural. That's the difficult thing. So remember, maybe you need to kind of write something down so that you remember, like, to make a lot of money from trading, you have to do what's uncomfortable and what doesn't feel natural. So naturally, you just want to get back in the market and get your money back, right? That's what everybody wants. But doing that will result in more financial loss over time. That's just going to happen. It's not maybe. No, it's going to happen. Now, you might say to me, you might be thinking, when I'm saying these things, you might be thinking, well, actually, Andy, not all the time, because there's been times I've done revenge trading and I've managed to make my money back. Yes, but I don't want this to sound harsh. Where is your account today? That's what you want to ask yourself. So yes, on one occasion, 2 occasions, 3 occasions, you may have done that. However, if that's what you do all the time, eventually your luck will run out. And eventually you will lose that money that's in your account. That's just going to happen. So let's not go into that game. Let's not play that game anymore, right? A loss has happened. You're in trading. We're going to take losses. You know, I'll give you an example that, you know, generally speaking, I like to think that I make good decisions, but I don't always make good decisions, or I could make better decisions. Let's put it that way. And so, like, you know, maybe, you know, I was planning to take a trade that I didn't take, or, you know, I was planning to add a hedge to my portfolio, which I didn't do, or I didn't do to the maximum. And then in hindsight, you think, oh, I could have made more money, or I could have protected my account a bit better. But the thing is, that's happened. Now, the thing that you want to do is you want to say, well, okay, that's happened. I didn't do that. Now I have to react. I have to be prepared for the next phase of my trading. But have I learned something from that experience? And how can I use that more powerfully so that I become a much better trader? So that scenario will happen again in a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe the next day, where you can change that action. And it's like, that should be your goal, improvement. It's like just always looking for those little edges, those little extra percentages. And the only way sometimes to know where you need to improve is often by doing the wrong thing. You know, obviously getting mentoring and help is great. That helps for sure. But often it's doing the wrong thing. And then the guys that really progress learn really fast, and the rest don't. And they just continue to do the same thing over and over again. Sorry, I don't want to keep rambling on. So just let me pause for a second.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good, mate. And you asked the question, and thank you to John Duncan Thompson. A new name. I haven't seen that before. Great photo, by the way, looking very sharp in your suit. And thank you for your comment as well. So he's experiencing anger with regards to his revenge trading, and he wants to get that money back.
Yeah, I mean, anger's a big one. I guess like who are you angry with is a good question to ask. Is it the market? Is it yourself? Because the thing that we have to do is we have to always own the responsibility, always. So if you are ever angry with the market or angry with somebody who's done something, like for example, you followed somebody's signal or somebody has tweeted something and it's created in a market, you know, or a movement that's created you to lose, or you've put in the wrong order. It doesn't matter if it was you or something else external to you. You have to ask yourself this question: how can I be responsible for what's happened? And find the answer. If you ask, Anthony Robbins says it best, right? Ask the right questions and you have the right answers, right? You can come up with the right answers. But if you keep asking, if you keep saying the wrong stuff, like if you keep saying, why am I so stupid? Why am I doing these? Why am I doing these stupid trades? Why am I so stupid? Well, your brain's not going to find a solution for that. Whereas, how can I be responsible for that losing trade? How can I be responsible for blowing up my account? How is it that I can do something different so that never ever happens again? So I don't have to ever feel that anger and that pain. And then find the answer before you go back into the markets. Find the answer and write it down and really focus on it. Like spend that time. You know, we spend our time doing all the exciting things like drawing trend line, putting our indicators on, doing all the things that we enjoy.
Yeah.
But how often do we sit there and think about these sorts of things? And we say that 90% is psychology, but yet we don't really focus on it. Like if it's 90% or 80 or whatever the figure is, and you really, really firmly believe that is the case, think about where the amount. So how much trading time do you spend, like charting, placing trades, learning new things, right? How many hours a week would you say you do that? And people can answer this. And how many of those hours are focused on these types of things, if you're honest? So maybe give me a percentage of your total amount of chart time. And that includes looking at your phone, looking at prices moving up and down, looking at your profit and loss, charting. How much time are you spending focusing on this part of it, what we call the psychology part, thinking about these kinds of things? Type in a percentage, guys. That would be really good and be honest.
Yeah, and I'll start the ball rolling as well if we're not honest with these things, because I had a feeling this might come up with if we're looking at psychology, then we're going to have to make ourselves vulnerable, and I'm happy to kind of do that. I guess for me, for the people that are new in the group, before I came back in contact with Andy, I was in online business. I built up a 7-figure business on Amazon. I've pretty much lost that after what's gone on in the world, and kind of come back to trading. And I was experienced with money, and I've placed large orders like 300 grand, 200 grand on products. I was like, all the little insecurities that I had around trading, I think I've got over that. Now what's happened is obviously losing that business. I've had a fear around building that success around money again to that level. So I've had to break down those fears. It's brought up a lot of like angst and kind of real sadness that I've, really processing losing this business and building everything up and having to kind of start again. So for me, that's where my fear has been, around the kind of fear of success element, I suppose, if I'm being totally honest. So yeah, I thought I'd go first and share that. So
what percentage would you say you would fall under, like in terms of working on mindset stuff?
At the moment, I've been working way more on mindset, way more on mindset and worth
70%.
Insecurities, more than that. I know it's over because I'm trying to rebalance that and then bring everything back into a balance.
Correct.
So it's been really, really deep, like going back into quite old kind of stored traumas and stuff like that, which probably some people may have to do. Not everybody has to do it. But for me, that's been my process. And I think if anybody's serious about wanting to have success and they don't have it yet, there will be a psychological reason for it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, most of the time that's what's stopping you. So the brain is, I mean, the sort of, I guess it's probably beyond my understanding of how the brain works. I know it from a theoretical point of view, but I do really firmly believe that we all have a blueprint that we live by that is basically quite mechanical, like habit-based, that we generally learn from experience and starts from childhood. So unless you kind of like really address those things, and the best, easiest way, because people kind of like think about like, oh, you know, you can go and do neuro-linguistic programming, you can do hypnosis, you can do all those kind of things. But actually, I think I have a simpler method. Like figure out the actions that you should be doing and change the actions. Just work on that. Don't worry about how you've got here. In my opinion, I'm just giving you a simple way of doing it. Yeah, of course, it could be because your dad did something, or because of things that they said to you, or whatever it is. It could be any reason, right? Like why you are where you are. But actually, think about, what does a successful trader do? If you want to be a successful trader, what are the actions that they take? Now, it's easier if you live with them, or they're your best friend, or you have them as your mentor, or whatever. But even just coming here, I'm telling you the things that you need to be doing. You know, we've said them a million times. Like, you know, even as far back as your nutrition, your meditation, your consistency, your exercising, all these things, right? You know what you should be doing. Now, if you're not doing them, a simple way is this, right? Figure out, as I said I've said this quite a few times, not a million, a few times. Figure out your big vision, your big why, and really focus on that. Like, is it your dream house? What would really excite you? Your dream car, your dream holidays, having lots of time. What are those things? Put them on a board, look at them every day, think and feel about them, and then associate the new actions that you need to take with that vision. That's it. That's the formula. Nothing else. You don't need to read NLP. You don't need to do any other things. In my opinion, that's it. Focus on what you want, really feel it, and then have the action plan where you say, right, okay, if I do this for a consistent amount of time, it will become me. Like, it will just be me, what I do, right? So, like, no, you know, how do we learn to brush our teeth in the morning and the evening? Because we give that habit to our children from an early age, and they just do it. So it's like, you know, if I forget in the morning to brush my daughter's teeth, she'll come and say to me, Daddy, I haven't brushed my teeth, as we're going out the door, right? So she knows that's what she needs to do. It's just a habit now. She knows that's part of her routine. And that's what we have. We have routines, and you just need to change that routine. Do something often enough. It becomes your new you. And now you have basically the actions of a successful person, a successful trader, and things will start to change. It really is that simple. It really can be that simple. If you believe it, you just need to do it. That's the hard bit, in my opinion.
Good stuff. Lauren's saying 15 to 20%. I'm guessing that's to do with psychology side. So that's a good number. What would you say about that number? How could he improve that?
So he's spending 15 to 20% on psychology, but we're saying 80, 90% of successful trading is psychology. So that number should be higher. I'm sure Lauren knows that. So because we love going through, we love doing the stuff that we enjoy. That's the reality. And that is me 100%. Like, I love just going on charts and just looking around and just looking and analyzing and figuring things out. That's great. I love doing that. The other stuff is more of a sort of like brushing your teeth type thing, where I know or exercise. I know it makes me feel good, and I know it makes me think really well. Do does anyone really enjoy the pain when you go? I don't think so. I mean, there's parts of it that are good, but really, sweating it out in the gym or lifting weights or whatever, it's good, but you're doing it really for a purpose, aren't you? Like, if it made no difference, would people really be just, going in and lifting stuff up? No, probably not, right? You'd be doing something else. So it's the feeling that we get from it, right? So with a lot of the other stuff, I do them because I know it gets me into the state that I need to be to achieve what I need to achieve, and it all spirals. For me to trade well, the other stuff has to be there. Otherwise, yes, I have great knowledge, but that isn't enough. It's not enough. I can get away with it slightly more than others because of my experience, but I would say without me doing those other things, my performance would really dramatically drop. Definitely. I'd say that with confidence. My performance would drop if I wasn't doing the other things on a consistent basis.
Awesome. So look, that's just one of the psychological mishaps that we face in the markets. I just want to go back though, before we go on to another point where you said there's a massive difference between the pros in the hedge fund world and the institutions on the pro trading floors and retail traders. What's the big, just top line, what are some of the big differences?
No, do you know what the difference is? Like the reaction to a loss. Like there's that's the biggest thing. And it's to do with, because I've got the right mindset. It's like they're not attached to winning or losing. That's the biggest difference. So that if you wouldn't know on most good trading floors whether somebody was up or down. That's probably the biggest difference. And when you see most retail traders, they are, jumping up and down when they're, killing it in the markets, and then they disappear and depressed, want to give up when they're not. And that's not healthy, right? So you need to just bring that in slowly. Don't try and be perfect from day one, but just be able to handle losses and pullbacks and be absolutely just like you're doing your job. Like you're just doing your job. You're doing the right things. You're preparing as well as you can with the information that you have, with the knowledge that you have, and you're doing your very, very best to grow your equity curve. Come from that space. And if your very best has resulted in a loss or losing month or losing week, well, that's just the result. And, we can, of course, try and improve, but that's not your fault. You've done the best you can do with the knowledge that you have today and with what's happened in the market. So if you come from that space, then a loss is just a loss. It's not attached to you personally. It's nothing personal. And that's probably the biggest difference between the top guys and the retail guys that are still trying to make it.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. So another one that's really interesting is unrealistic expectations is one that I see and hear a lot of. And just to put it into perspective, I was hearing a story the other day. Bit of trivia, Andy, can you remember this? If not, someone in the group, because it's really doing my head in. I can't remember. Who's Warren Buffett's business partner for Berkshire Hathaway? Their big investment group.
I can't remember.
Charlie Mungbean? Charlie Mungbean. What's his name? It's going to really do my head in. Anyway, there's a story that goes around about those two, and they're obviously two of the most successful investors of all time, right? They never, out of all their thanks, Andrew, is Charlie. What's his surname? If anybody knows that would be amazing. So anyway, they are two of the most successful investors. They never got into Google or Amazon, apparently. And they were like, do you know what, guys? We hold our hands up. We don't beat ourselves up about it. We didn't get into them. We missed those ones. But the good thing about us is that we just move on and we know we're going to get more than what we miss. And I think, again, there's the difference between a professional Obviously, those guys are like the top 1%, but even still, we can take some learnings from that that maybe we think this is the one. We have to get in on this one, right? Is there something that you would say to that one in your experience of dealing with both professional and retail traders on that psychological mishap?
Yeah, I mean, like that, and that's where I guess that's where FOMO comes in, because people fear that they're going to miss out on something, and they're like desperate not to miss out on something. But I guess like that's a good example of like, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to trade every opportunity to make money. And I say this a lot, like the most important metric is how much is going in your bank every month from your trading. Really, that's it. So we thought we of course there are metrics that we measure and to improve and all the things that we've spoken about before. But ultimately it's that, right? Now your bank or your purchasing power doesn't care whether you've bought cable, whether you shorted the euro dollar, or whether you've done a magical hedge with the Aussie and something else, right? It just cares about facts, numbers. Like, have you grown your account? Have you made money? Have you taken good risk and managed to grow that capital this month? That's it. So what I'm trying to say about that is that if you miss a trade, you've missed a trade. You've missed an opportunity. But the great news is this: you have a formula to go and find more trades. You have knowledge to go and find more trades. And part of the game is missing trades. Except that's part of the game. That's going to happen. The thing that is not part of the game is when you've missed a trade and then you still take it anyway at the wrong price. Because that's just coming from fear. It's not coming from a place of abundance where you think there's more opportunities. It's just coming from fear, thinking, well, I know this is going to go up. But it's not just enough to know that something's going to go up. It has to meet your criteria. It has to be at the right price, right? It's like you need to be basically getting according to your plan. Now, if you need to adjust or tweak your plan, that's fine. That's something you do outside of hours. But in the moment, you missed the trade. Again, this is part of your psychological development. You can prepare for that before it happens. Hey, I'm going to miss some trades probably this week. What are the three things? How should I be reacting to these missed trades? And then come up with something that's going to help you deal with them so that you're not doing something that you shouldn't be.
And another angle to this is that a lot of people have unrealistic expectations, saying, right, I have to be profitable this week. I have to be profitable for this month. I have to be profitable for this day. I have to be profitable on every trade. And it seems like it's like people trying to chase their tail and just catching a vicious cycle downwards. Would that be something that either you've noticed for yourself or in other people that you've coached through the years?
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the case. That's why I don't generally like the idea of people that say I need to make 50 pips a day or £50 a day or £100 a day. As a trader, your income is going to be up and down. It's not going to be that. You're not going to know how to make. You're not going to be able to make £50 a day or £100 a day because you just don't know what the market's going to have available to you. Like maybe today there's £200 available to you instead of 50, and it's your job to follow your plan and collect that £200. And then another day, it may not be available to take even £50, and we may take a loss. So that's important. But going back to unrealistic expectations, I think it's a big one. Especially for people that are starting with a small amount of capital and they're over leveraging, over risking to grow it. I think you have to find a balance. Like, I think setting high expectations is okay if you take the right approach. So what do I mean? If your focus is just on you, no value, you're not looking to to find opportunities that make sense, that are high probability, and your main focus is just on growing your account, growing your money, it's just not going to happen that way. If your focus is, hey, do you know what? I'm going to work extra hard this week to hunt down my trading opportunities, to hunt down the ones that meet my criteria. So I'm going to go through more currency pairs. I'm going to set more alerts so that I can be ready to take those opportunities and really have a big week. That's okay. That's okay. But if your focus is like, you know, I need to make £500 this week, and it's not in finding opportunities, like what you say is really important. Like, you have to be thinking about the market, not about money. Like, have it as a goal, but most importantly is, if the market gives me the opportunity to make more this week, I'll be ready, right? That's much different, right? To saying, hey, I need to make more money this week. Well, the market doesn't care how much you need to make, you know, like the market cares. The market's just going to do, it's just a sea, you know, the waves are going to go as they go. And you've just got to be ready for those waves. That's it. That's all. That's all you can do. Be as prepared as possible. If the opportunity is not there and you're not going to hit that target, then that's just the way it goes. And that's trading. And that's why I do say, Gavin, to people, as you know, if you can, don't quit your job. Like, have a guaranteed income coming in. Do this part-time. And then when you have some consistency where you know you're making way more than you need, then you can start to think about reducing your work hours. But you should always have some kind of safe income coming in to keep that pressure off you, whether it's a business or whatever, something that's a bit more guaranteed and stable.
Awesome. Well, look, thank you everybody for who's commented. We've got enough time now to go through your professional trade setup of the week. That has just flown by as usual. I'm sure we'll probably have to do a part 2 next week because there's still many other psychological mishaps that we can talk about. Unless anybody's got something really pressing, then what I'd like to do now is to jump over. So if you want Andy to go through a professional FX trade setup of the week, as he would be looking to trade it, multiple time frames, Fibonacci, support and resistance, trend lines, and all of that good stuff. Start typing your currency pair that you'd like him to analyze now, and we will go through it live on the show for you.
Yeah, so I will be ready. I'm just loading it all up.
So we put you on the spot as well. I'm putting Andy on the spot, getting the charts ready. That he's obviously he likes to be kept on his toes. But now this is the bit that you get to interact, guys. So if you've never commented before, obviously if you're watching this on the replay, as we know many people do because they can't always catch it live, that's fine. Obviously that won't be worth it. But if you're here live, why not make a comment? Put down a currency pair, and we'll go through that. So the first couple of pairs, if there's more than one suggestion, we'll go through that one. Unless there's a really good setup that you've seen this week, Andy, or would you just prefer to be kept on your toes?
No, there's nothing in particular that I'm looking at, to be honest. But I'm happy to do any currency pair. I mean, we did do cable last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's still kind of in play and open, so probably do something different to cable.
Yeah, let's do something different, and when you can go through last week's trade setup of the week, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Do you want me to choose if nobody's got any preferences?
Why not? Aussie USD. How about that?
All right. Okay. Let's bring up the Aussie. Let's do the Aussie. I will just okay. 1 second. I'll just bring my charts in over here, and then I'll do a screen share. So share screen. Okay.
Also, guys, just while Andy's getting that ready, I'll post the link in the chat section for a webinar that Andy and I recorded about FX and the FX training and why he's put it together, starting from his hedge fund days, basically breaking down all of the stuff that he's going to go through now. So obviously, you're not going to get all of this in one go unless you've already been on the program, and even then, it takes time to build repetition and to build that action, like his daughter brushing his teeth is the analogy he gave earlier, or the example he gave earlier. But if you're interested to learn more of this, then click on the link below, and that time that you invest watching that, many people said that should have been a program or a course in itself. People have said that they've got lots of value out of it. Would be a fair comment. So yeah, knock yourselves out and have a look at that, because obviously Andy does teach FX trading to a very, very high level. And obviously we're looking for funded traders as well, just in case you didn't know that. So there's a lot of potential within associating with Andy and his company, the London Trading Institute. So with that being said, have you got the chart up for Aussie USD, Mr. Demi?
Yeah. Okay. So you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, guys. Let me run through this. So we'll start with a weekly time frame. So let's kind of assess what's been going on. So at this stage, we've had this kind of this big down move. We've retraced, and now it's kind of like consolidating, ranging. So that essentially this is what's happening at the moment. It's just stuck in a bit of a range. So I know some of our students have been trading that range really successfully. A lot of the pros really actually prefer ranges. So I am just going to do this. Let's just have a little look to see how we are doing. Right. Okay, so you can see now we've kind of channeled that up. And let me see if there's any other kind of hidden lines. So you can see there, resistance became support. And that's kind of a quick look at the big picture. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we are just we're just kind of stuck between these lows and these highs, with the possibility, we're just kind of hogging this this dynamic support here, this channel line. So yeah, I mean this could run up to here. We'll see if there's a potential confirmation of that. Let me just have a look at the week.
It looks like there's some good support and resistance there, don't there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna see. Yeah, that's quite good actually. Like, look at that. So that there is a really strong zone. So that's kind of really the main area of resistance that we need to break. So it may just, there's this area which is really, really strong. These little levels in between. This is a good area as well as a short-term bounce. So the next kind of move could be down to here, 75.10-ish, and then possibly up. But yeah, this is good. Let me see what else we've got here. I'm just going to bring in my pen as well in case I need to draw something. So, right, I will just plug in my fibs just so I can see where we are. And let's see if there's anything interesting here. So, yeah, that's quite good. It's a 618, around 73, 77. I like this zone here. I wonder if we come down to here, that could be, I like it because it's the 618 here. And we have the most recent resistance on the weekly is here. So resistance becomes support. We can also just check the down fibs. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if that's correct or not. Let me just check. Yeah, perfect. That's perfect. So that's, yeah, I mean, I really like this little zone down here. Like, this would be quite a nice little buy zone if we got down there. So I will go and look elsewhere now. 73.80, 74.47. Right, let me go see what the daily's saying. Right. So let's have a little look. Let's see. This bit of resistance. Okay, just gonna see if there's like a little bit of support here. Okay. So where's that 73, 77? So it's about so between 74.47 and 73.70 roughly. That zone there looks quite good to me. But whether that's, it just feels like at the moment you just have to focus on the range. There's like some support coming here. So I wouldn't, I mean, I would put an alert here, but I would trade the range right now. Let me see what the down fibs are saying on this as well. See if there's anything else there to note. Yeah, that's perfect because often the reversal overextends, as most of you know. So that 200 there, I really like that zone as a buy. 73.75. As a long-term play, guys, that's a really nice zone. I would mark that down. It's also this old resistance. So basically, if you can see here that you might be able to just see it, is the purple line there. That's called the overextension fib. And often when the market is reversing, so its first swing the opposite way, it overextends. So I would be really looking here as a long-term swing play around 73.70. Let's see if there's any short-term stuff as well. So you should put an alert in at that level. So you can put an alert in both levels so you don't forget. But right now, I mean, really, this market is pretty much holding within this range. That's really what's going on. So in the short term, I would just be, this is like a fake out, but this is where we're basically going from resistance to support. And look, you can see there's multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, 11 times. So it's just stuck here. So I think you can definitely maybe play these highs and lows until this range breaks out. Just be careful, like don't go too tight with your stops. If you want to, you can confirm it with something like the stochastic. It's fine. You can even take it down to the hourly chart. But yeah, there's not really anything else really to do. So long-term swing play, as I said, I would be definitely looking in this zone here. So 73.70 ideally is your buy, 75 possibly, and then 74.50 maximum. I'd want to pay for a swing trade long. And if we look at that, if you were to buy this here, somewhere here, you'd really be looking to target minimum up here. back towards 80.53. Possibly this looks like it could be breaking out, so then you'd be looking at for a breakout. But for the easy move, I'd probably go for this, because that kind of brings you in close to this channel resistance. So because what might happen is, like, this could be a nice little move there, and then you might as well wait for it to break that and then look to buy here for the next move up towards there. That's kind of what I would do. I'd be looking to catch that swing there. If it shows me it's going to break, I'd then be looking to buy this here. So old resistance becoming support, and we'd go into the lower time frames and look to buy. In the short term right now, guys, just trade the range. If you're going to trade this, if you like ranges, you can use something like the stochastic as a confirmation, which just comes down as standard on MT4. And so you could just only sell it if you get the, so like this is an example here. The stochastic was overbought, so that would count as a potential buy, selling opportunity. And then on the flip side, you can see the market was oversold with the price hitting that support. Then you could buy at that situation. Just target the top of the range. But yeah, that's all I can kind of offer there, guys. That's really the only opportunities that I can see in this currency pair. Any questions, Gavin? Was that all right?
Not bad.
All right. Well, I'll go and play now. I'm gonna go play in the garden now.
Bix Bacon. We are live on YouTube, by the way. I'm the only person here on YouTube. You could well be so far, Bix Bacon, but thank you for your comment on YouTube. Obviously, we're live in Facebook. If you want to join our group and get all this sort of value, mix with us and our tribe, it's the Crypto and FX Traders Club on Facebook. Go and just apply for the group, and one of us will give you access to the group. It will be great to have you there. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in today on your Monday, wherever you are in the world. Obviously, we know for you guys in the UK, it is bank holiday. What are you doing for the rest of your bank holiday Monday, mate?
Well, we've just done the garden up really nicely, so ready for the summer. So we're just out in the garden, to be honest.
Can we have a picture, please? Can you post a picture?
Huh?
Post a picture of you on your deck chair.
Yeah, once you get a trophy and you give it to the Gold Coast lady.
How do you know it's a Gold Coast lady? Oh, by the way, I think they commented back. I don't know who you are, so it'd be nice, like I said, if we know your name. But they're in Nobby's Beach, which is very fancy. Very fancy.
Fancy lady. There you go, mate. You're in, mate. You're in.
How are you assuming? Let's get you a spade. Let's play. Let's get Andy a spade game. Why are you assuming that this is a woman?
Huh?
Why are you assuming?
It just sounds like a lady, but I might be wrong.
And this is why it's lucky that I'm here, because you're good at trading, mate. All right, we'll give you that.
Well, let's find out. As you said, we're slapping me out with this ridiculous thing. Are you in the UK? Are you in Australia? Knowing that he's not in Australia.
It sounds like a lady. There's your.
Oh, he's a man. Oh, man. Oh, God. Well,
can't take him anywhere. Can't take him anywhere. But he has proved our point.
You still might be in there, mate.
If you had have registered, we would have known your name and we would have seen your photo, probably on Nobby's Beach or what's the place? The bar with the live band on Sundays. Santorini's. You're probably a Santorini's man, I'm guessing. A man of good taste. So yeah, that's just.
There you go. You have a new friend, mate. You need as many friends as you can get. To be fair,
I do. I'll take any and all.
Mate, and I don't know your name, but he is looking for a place to live.
My own place.
You can help him out. You can maybe next week you could do the show from the same apartment together.
Mate, I'm actually in a co-working office, and no one is here. It's 9 p.m. So why would they be? to be fair, but I'm in Burley Heads right now. So yeah, for anybody that cares or even knows where that is. Co-working space, I'm the only one in the office, and that's the way that I like it. So beats sitting in a car. I'll never regret that experience, mate. Doing a webinar live from a car, I can put that one down on my bucket list.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. So look, guys, hope wherever you are, hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. If you're over this side of the pond, obviously it's coming to the end of our evening. If you're over the colder side of the Western Hemisphere, then my condolences, and hopefully you enjoy a great bank holiday. So we're going to bounce and love you and leave you with a little bit of this as per usual. So professional, digital. Great editing that was.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Well, bank holiday, Sunday, Monday.
Mate, you ended this show all over the shop.
I did.
Have you been having some barbecue champagne supernovas before the show? Is that what it is?
No, I've not been drinking a lot. I've really cut down on my alcohol.
That's because you put on so much weight over COVID, right?
No, honestly, mate, I'm becoming like Santa. I need to sort it out.
By the way, we're live tomorrow, Crypto Like a Pro, the same time, midday BST, 9 p.m. AEST. Now I'm catching your slow lips, mate. Have a great day, guys.
Take care, guys.